Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we are going to be on the Vesper. Yes, the USS Vesper, the old skin. Now, captains, on a recent stream there from Cryptic, they actually revealed that they will be changing this skin to more of an updated look. But not only this, also the Excalibur. Now which also we will do a video on that as well, if we haven't done it already. But yes, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to be using this kind of as a bye-bye pew-pews video. Now, like I'd mentioned, they did show this off on a recent stream. So what we're going to do is go over where we saw this on the stream, go over something from Thomas Marone regarding this ship, and then go back, go over the build, weapons, space set, consoles, traits, stations, docks, and then take it into an elite Argala. But here it is. This is the Vesper, and yes, this is one of the OG skins in Star Trek Online. And just like they've been doing with one of the recent updated skins like the Shakar, which we did a video on that one, they're going to revamp this skin. So we're going to go off stream quickly here on to show that quickly. Just on screen here. There we go. So this was the recent stream that they showed of what they're going to do. Now again, it's not much of a change, but it's just an updated look. So they wanted to keep this classic sort of skin that is Stowe specific here. So all Thomas decided to do was just do an update on the skin. Now, he also did a Stowe Starship lore Vesper class video, sort of tweet here in terms, and we're going to go over it in this video just like what we did, haven't already, like the Excalibur. So let's read it here. So smaller than the Excelsior class heavy cruiser, the Vesper class was an attempt to coalesce all the capability of the Excelsior into a smaller space frame with a lower crew requirements. The Vesper saw concurrent development with the Ambassador class exploration cruiser project. So let's have a look here at the picture. Again, it's just the same skin. Now, this is not necessarily like what they did with the Shakar. They're just updating the skin and the visuals on it. And it's not, I'm going to be honest, not my favorite skin. I'd rather the Excalibur. That actually is a very iconic look, especially that was in the original image for the ship when they released Stowe. But there's that. Again, I believe they're using the Narendra skin here. It says here, actually, the design and model updates by Virtuous Games, but there's a Vesper Cruiser. But this is how they're updating it. Now we'll continue on here reading this. The Vesper utilized new strip-style phaser emitter arrays and a Vibranium hull coating, but to simplify its construction, its warp nacelles used to use the same coils as Block 2 Excelsior class starships. While not cutting edge, they were reliable and had been widely manufactured. So have a look at this. We can see the before and after. And again, I love how Thomas took the time to do this. You can see, again, it's not that big of a change here. There was more change on the Excalibur, but again, it's just an updated skin, and this kind of puts it in class in terms of the visuals that we have now in Star Trek Online as of this video here in 2022. So just a lot more cleaner, a lot more TNG style-esque hull there. So to some degree, the Vesper suffered from its association with its larger cousin. The original prototype Ambassador proved too ambitious for its time and underwent drastic redesigns and abandoned many of its original revolutionary features. Here's another shot of the before and after. And so it looks like it's using the Narendra / Ambassador kind of skin there, and it looks good, but again, not my favorite configuration or skin of this. It just looks too stretched out, but I do appreciate the photon torpedo launchers, which again we'll see here on the older skin. With its proven warp engines, the Vespers were generally reliable. Still, the scandal around the Ambassador project cast doubt on associated technological initiatives, and the massive boom of UFP expansion during the peaceful post-Kittimer period Required quantity over quality. There is another shot of the aft. Captains, you know I love my aft, yes! But not necessarily this one. But again, a cleaner look there. Here, Starfleet scrapped plans to refresh its cruiser force with dozens of Vespers, instead opting to invest in its collection of Miranda and Excelsior-class starships. Several Vespers did manage to enjoy a long service life, and their crews took pride in their historic Vespies. So, again, kind of just a lore thing from Thomas there. Appreciated that he put this time, and you can tell his love and passion for what he does is totally shown here. So let's go back here to the bridge. Back here on the Vesper. So again, this is just going to be a bye-bye pew-pews. Nothing seriously. Again, it's not like the Shakar where they totally revamped it. But again, we thought we would at least keep a log here on the YouTube bridge of this original OG skin here in Stowe. Now, again, I do appreciate the photon launcher there. And as you can see, I believe that's an aft photon launcher, but regardless, there it is. So now let's go over the build. So for this one, again, we named it the USS Vesper. We used the legendary Miracle Worker light cruiser, and of course, this is in the 10th anniversary legendary bundle. And this is what we did with it. Now, we'll start with the weapons here. As you can tell, captains, we just did full-on phasers here. So we'll start with the 4 weapons here. So we start here with the Terran Task Force Phaser Beam Array. Of course, this is from your Terran rep. This is still one of the best beams in my opinion. Now, when this is under a special firing mode, there's almost like a different visual. Even the regular firing mode is kind of a thicker phaser beam array, but when it's under special firing mode, like beam overload, you can see almost like traces of redder or deeper orange in the beam. So look out for that. So the next one up here is the Phaser Wide Angle Dual Beam Bang. This is from your Discovery rep. Again, another great phaser beam weapon. The visuals on this, though, is the blue Discovery type phasers, but still, we're going full phaser regardless here. And then to round it off, we have the 2 Agony Phaser Dual Beam Bangs here that we just got off the exchange, but you can see crit DM damage 4 for rounding off the 4 weapons here. Space set, nothing too different here. Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector from your Fleet Colony. The prevailing innovative impulse engines from your competition rep. We're going to use the Elite Fleet Plasma Integrated Warp Core. This is from your Fleet Spire. And then we're going to use Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield, which is from your Discovery rep. Now the aft weapons here, this is what we decided to do. So this is going to be literally facing the target at all times. So our first one here in the back, or in the aft, is the Omnidirectional Phaser Beam Array. Again, we just got this on the exchange a long time ago. Crit DM damage times 3. We're using the Trilithium Enhanced Omnidirectional Phaser Beam Array. Now, this is from the featured mission Nexus. Great short mission. And you get a free Omni Beam. But we're also going to use the Trilithium Enhanced Phaser Turret, which you can get from the same mission. And these, of course, give you a chance to gain 10% fire cycle haste. So why not? And then to round it off here, the aft here is Advanced Inhibiting Phaser Heavy Turrets. We just get this from our Gamma rep. Continue on here with the devices. We just have our Energy Candy for the plus 20% bonus energy weapon damage for 20 seconds. Our Kobayashi Maru Transponder for the buff goodness. Temporal Negotiator, a red matter capacitor. And for our consoles here, we got our Tactical Lorca's custom fire controls. This is from, or called the Locator, this is from your Discovery rep. And just like the Excalibur, we're going to be using the console that comes with this, the Omnimus device. Of course, it has plus 20% all damage, so that's not too bad. And it does have the Carbonite maneuver here, its area of effect, placate, minus damage resistance, minus defense, minus shield hardness to foe. So nothing too bad. Again, with most of our energy builds, we just use kind of the same consoles to boost that. So binaural infusion circuits from your low-buy store, flat out plus 26.2 crit severity. We're going to use a DPRM, or the dynamic power distributing module. Of course, this is from your Atlas, aka the prototype Dreadnought, which you can get from your event campaign if you haven't chosen it yet, captains, or you're about to get it. For the plus 11.3 all damage resistance rating, plus 19% directed energy damage, and it has a good clicky, so for 20 seconds, plus 40% bonus damage while above 80% hull. Then you also get plus 100 bonus damage resistance rating, plus 500% hull regen. And of course, we are going to pair it up with the Point Defense Bombardment Warhead. This is from any version of the NX. For the plus 25% projectile damage, plus 1% cute critical chance. But pairing up with the DPRM, this gives us, of course, the plus 33% phaser damage for directed energy weapons. Makes sense to me. As we continue on here, we have the Domino. This is from your Bajoran Interceptor, which you can get from the Phoenix Prize Pack as an epic reward. We got this from the events, and they gave this out. But it does give plus 15% phaser damage, plus 20 AC rating. But for 10 seconds when you hit this, it gives you 25% fire cycle haste for energy weapons. Makes sense. Plus 25% bonus all damage. Plus 25% recharge speed for bridge officer abilities. Plus 100% recharge speed for torpedo weapons. And again, if you defeat a foe within the duration of this console, its duration gets extended by 2 seconds. Now we're going to use its baby brother, which is the M6 computer. This you can get from your shipyard, from the Temporal Escort. I believe it's a tier 3, but it's plus 15% bonus all damage, 15 seconds, plus 25% cooldown reduction for tactical bridge officer abilities. But it gives you also a 20% fire cycle haste for all weapons for 15 seconds, plus 30 AC and defense rating for 15 seconds. Of course, we're going to use the emulating phaser lance. This is from your Pilot Deimos destroyer, which you can also get from event campaign. This is the first chip I got for the event campaign 2 years ago, and it served me very well. So pretty much part of optimizing any build, where it's plus 15.8% phaser damage, plus 43.8 Starship Shield Pen, and it looks pretty good. And then to round it off, captains, all we did here in the tactical consoles was just put 4 vulnerability locators for the plus 39.4% phaser damage and plus 2% crit chance. Of course, you can get this from your Fleet Spire. So really good console there. Stat-wise, this does give us 46.9% crit chance, and we have crit severity of 178.2%. Now keep in mind, captains, my Pendever is ranked to 600. I have 150 points to use, so I am maxed out if I choose to. The reason why I don't is to show you, caps, and to show newer players that you can still do more with less as long as you sort of synergize your build. So we've done good before, we're still doing good now. So it is a choice, just showing, because a lot of captains have not been keeping up with their Pendevers. We have, but I did max this at the point of 600, but then they extended it. I'm not going to use it just yet, just to prove again that you don't need that much to get through the content of Star Trek Online. So there's that. Skill-wise, specialization, we're still using Intel Primary and Temporal Secondary. Our traits, this is what we did. A good day to die. Adaptive offense. Self-modulating fire. Beam barrage. Fragment of AI tech. Superior beam training. Unconventional systems. Terran targeting systems. Intelligent agent attaché. And the Boimler effect. Starship traits wise, we have the super weapon ingenuity, so you can tell already this is going to be a beam overload build because it's best. Of course, that increases the duration, and now we're going to use that and pair it with preferential targeting, which after using fire at will or cannon scatter volley, this will give it plus 100% damage to beam overload for 30 seconds. We're going to use universal designs, emergency weapon cycle, and to change it up, we're going to use energy overdrive. Space rep, we are going to use precision, advanced targeting systems, magnified firepower, enhanced shield penetration, and Tyler's duality. And for active space reputation, nothing too different here. Anti-time entanglement singularity, biomolecular shield generator, force challenge, tethered non-baryonic asteroid, and refractory tetron cascade, which normally I don't really use with the exception of mostly anti-time entanglement singularity and refractory tetron cascade, but it's there, so it's slotted. Why not? Station-wise, this is what we did, left to right, top to bottom. We're going to go with chemocyte lace weaponry, cannon scatter volley, and of course our main damage dealer, beam overload 3. Distributed targeting, attack pattern beta. Now, one of my favorite powers to use here, visually, just because it's visually looks great. Stabilize warp core. So look up for that when we start our pew pews. Emit unstable warp bubble. Narrow sensor bands 3 and mix armament synergy 3. We're going to cycle between emergency power to engines and emergency power to weapons. And to round off the side station here, tractor beam and scramble sensors. Now we go to our DOPS. So this is our DOPS. So we have the 2 on ground helping us in space. We got Neil Falconer, of course, increased damage versus the bird when we pew the bird. Elder Malikatan, and he gives us increased damage versus all. And for our space is what we did here. We have 3 energy weapons officers here. They give us a chance to stack crit severity and crit chance when we use energy weapons. We're going to use Agent Neural. I got this from the Delta pack a long time ago, but when using attack pattern beta, this restores a little bit of hull. Little help with survivability there. And then Emergency Con recharges evasive maneuvers when emergency power to engines is activated. And of course, Dalirene here to also help us with increased damage versus Zberg when we pews Zberg. So there you go, captains. That is the build. And again, I'll say this. When we do these types of videos, this is just for fun. Nothing to be taken too seriously because this is the type of fun we have and this is why we share this with you. So now what we're going to do is take this into an Elite Argala and see how it does. And yes, captains, you know who is with us. If not, you will hear.
Ensign, take us out of here. Maximum warp.
Captain Picard.
Engage.
Oof. Yes. Oof. Love that warp out. Love it, love it, love it. All right, here we go.
Tactical alert.
Oh, Riker's with us too. Just saying.
184, Mark 7.
All hands. Battle stations.
Ooh. All right, here we go, Caps. Let's see how it does.
Deflectors to full.
Oh, that's a lot of pews. Ooh, that was a lot of pews. Ooh. And there's our first group done. All right, let's save our major buffs here for this next group.
Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding.
See how we do here. Use some energy candy. Ooh. See, there's that explosion there from the warp. Destabilized warp core. It just looks so good on top of the new animation for the explosion. It just looks good, in my opinion. Gotta love the sound of beam overload. I never get tired of that. I really don't. captains that have been here on the YouTube bridge know how many beam overload builds I've done, and it's still fun. Just from the pure sound. Ooh, that looked good. See, as you can see there, the special firing mode, you can see the thicker beam there from the Terran beam. Yeah, I kind of saw it there. Yeah, try to go over here. Side view so you can captain see it there. See, there it is. It's just a thicker beam visual. There it is. It has a kind of almost like a black now. See that? But that's a Terran task force beam array. It took out those two little fighters it had with it. That was awesome. See, it doesn't take much, captains, to make me a happy captain. Yeah, I love that animation of the explosion there. Last group already. All right, captains. Let's try to buff up as much as we can here. Take that out here. That up. Okay. And you're done. Now we're going to deal with these guys. Last buff here that we can use. TAC fleet. Yes! And there we go. All right, captains, let's go over here for our shelfies. Excuse me, sir. Captains, if you don't know what that is, those are our ship selfies. Let's just pick a angle here to show this off. To give our last tribute to this skin before it gets revamped. Take that off. Get the buff goodness from the Kobayashi Maru there while we are being blinded. So actually we'll do this view. We'll do that. There you go. So you can see everything warp nacelles. So there you go, captains. Of course it did fine. Now, like I said before, with any of the builds we do, it's always just for fun. We don't take things too serious, especially with these type of things where we're just trying to keep a log of it, especially things are going to be changed here. Now, this is just going to get an upgrade, but we're still going to include it in the BYE BYE PEW PEWZ. I guess you can have it a series now because it's the third one. But I guess whenever there's going to be a new skin, we're going to take the old skin out for a spin just because, again, it's not a skin that I like, but there are captains who like it. So if this is something for you, captains, you're gonna get a new skin, and maybe we'll go back on it someday. But there it is. That is the build. That is how it did. So like the video, comment below, but also subscribe here to the YouTube bridge, and of course we will leave it on this note.
Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.